What's up, guys? We're ready for a great show today. In automotive news, we do have a $9.6 billion investment by the US Post Office. They're ready to write a check for new EVs. And in Florida, there's a homeowner that's been threatened by his HOA for parking his EV in his driveway. But first, let me introduce you to today's guest, Dawson Kratzchmar, who's our salesperson of the month at our Toyota store. So Dawson, thanks for coming on today.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course. So I guess a few things I want to ask you. So first off, how long have you been at Gates?
I've been at Gates for about 14 months now.
Yeah, so a little over a year. That's awesome.
Yep.
And being salesperson of the month, so that's happened a few times. What would you say your journey has been like here at Gates? And have you been in automotive before that?
No, this is my first time in the automotive industry. It was a huge adaptive change, but I just knew I had to jump in feet first and go off running and to be able to be successful in this business, and it works. You know, I put in some overtime and, you know, really focusing on my customers when it takes a minute to get it done. So
yeah, for sure. There's a lot of things that you mentioned just now that are really important to someone in, not just in automotive, but also I think in sales and also in relationships is you really need to have to put that customer first. So
absolutely.
Like everything that you do, working hard to get things done for them, I know that's really been what has made you successful. And I mean, obviously people like you too, so that's another thing.
Yeah, you got to be very personable and nice. Make a friend out of someone.
Yeah, exactly. You make a friend first, then you have a sale second.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. So there's a few guys you work with over here, like Brian Winston, Scott Blackford, Steve Miller, that really make up the management here in our Toyota store. Who's your favorite?
I don't have a favorite.
Good answer, right?
They all treat me the same, and we all are here to do the same thing, and we get along well, and that's all that matters to me in a business. If we can get along well, it makes the life go better.
Yeah, so describe your day. What does it look like when you come in the morning?
You know, I come in, get on the computer, check in on my Drive-Centric, which is my client base.
Yes.
Do some follow-ups, make sure, check in, see if people have birthdays, reach out to them. Then, you know, I check in with the managers, see if they have anything that needs help for the day, etc. And then I tend the lot the rest of the day usually.
Yeah. What's your favorite Toyota vehicle?
It's probably honestly the Supra, the A91.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are pretty sweet.
Yeah, they're beautiful cars.
Yeah, they are. Have you driven one yet?
One for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They drive sweet too.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I know that Toyota has always been well known for their reliability in their truck industry as well. So they've got the Tundra, they've got the Tacoma. Those are some really great vehicles, but even their SUV lineup, they've really beefed up over the last, let's say, decade.
Absolutely.
And I mean, you're going to have long-running models that are important, kind of like the 4Runner, the Highlander, ones like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're great vehicles. I drive Tundras myself personally. And,
yeah.
I recommend them. Toyotas, Tacomas as well. I recommend any Toyota product. That's why I'm here at the store.
Yeah.
I trust the brand, so that's why I want to sell. It's a brand that I know.
For sure. And we know that the market's changing for consumers and people that are searching for vehicles. Availability's coming back. We do have new vehicles in stock. We are also hyping up our used stock. What kind of advice would you give to someone who's looking to buy a vehicle right now?
Just be a little open in the market. It is still kind of hard to get certain things, but
sure.
If you're willing to work with us, we can get you a vehicle in a timely manner. So that is always a good thing to think about. On the other end, we also have Chevrolet too. So if you're okay with Chevy, they're great, fantastic vehicles as well. So, and we all have availability there too. So
yeah, great. Well, Dawson, thanks for coming on today and doing this part of it. And everybody else, stay tuned for the new segment where we talk about the US Post Office doubling down on EV investment and also why the HOA threatened this homeowner in Florida. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Car Talk is presented by Gates Automotive, Northern Indiana's premier local-owned auto dealer, specializing in Toyota, Chevy, and pre-owned vehicle sales and service. Gates Automotive has locations in South Bend, Mishawaka, Granger, and Elkhart. For more information, visit gatesautomotive.com.
Huge thank you to Gates Automotive for sponsoring Car Talk. To kick things off, the US Post Office plans to purchase 66,000 EVs to have on the road by 2028. This is an investment of about $9.6 billion. This really takes things up a notch above what Domino's even wanted to do by purchasing Chevy Bolt EVs, but they only wanted about 600 of them. The US Post Office has decided this after they came under scrutiny for their lack of EPA improvements on the next-gen delivery vehicle, the one that was being produced by Oshkosh a couple years ago when Biden first came into office. In total, the US Post Office does have 400,000 vehicles in their fleet. This new order of 66,000 will only account for about 10% of their fleet. In other news, Glenn Gordon, a homeowner in Florida, was written a nasty letter from his HOA after he purchased a Rivian R1T. This Florida resident has been parking his EV in the driveway, which apparently is against the HOA regulations. Now, we have to look at it in detail because this Rivian is not a cheap vehicle. It's also not a commercial vehicle. It's not a semi-truck. It's not any of that. It's about a $120,000 electric vehicle truck. But in the HOA commitments and covenants, it does say that you cannot park commercial trucks, semis on the street or in your driveway after nightfall. You can only park it in your garage. Word for word, the letter says, trucks, trailers, recreational vehicles, and or commercial vehicles of any kind are not permitted to be parked anywhere in the association community except in your garage during overnight hours. Now, obviously, this regulation was made so that it would keep commercial vehicles and ugly trucks out of the HOA. But this Rivian R1T is, again, a luxurious EV truck that cost over $100,000. The homeowner Gordon has cited a different litigation claim back from the 2000s, so it's pretty clear that the courts have already ruled something along these lines that they know that he is right. I guess we'll find out what happens, and the HOA is probably going to be on the hook for the legal fees. Thanks again for tuning in to this episode of Car Talk, presented by Gates Automotive. Stay tuned for more automotive news.